Hello, hello, and welcome to the Listen Bitch podcast, your go-to destination for unlocking your full potential and embracing the extraordinary possibilities within you. This is a journey of self-discovery and empowerment as you explore that transformative power of stepping into greatness. Come into alignment with your God-given power and gifts, unleash your soul, and learn to co-create a life you love. As you become the writer of your own story in this podcast, you're going to find the inspiration, practical tips, and sometimes abrasive nudge to take the leap of faith towards your dreams. Uh, I would just say, listen, bitch, buckle up. You're in the right place. Let's unleash your inner badass. Okay. You can support this mission at listenbitchdonations.com just for fun. It is a tax write off though. But otherwise, I usually get enough chump change to buy myself a cup of chai tea, matcha chai, or some dirty mushroom coffee. I haven't had that for a hot minute, you guys. I've just been drinking the chai. But anyway, want to change your life, scroll the show notes and pick your path, whether it's coaching, books, biohacks. Literally, don't wait. You need to move, okay? Today, what I wish someone would have told me when I was chasing my purpose. Okay. Babe, I've been so busy trying to find my purpose. I've been missing the fact that it is sitting right in front of me. And if you caught my Facebook Live tonight, you already know I went off. Okay. But I really just want to kind of slow it down in the podcast and walk you through what God actually showed me, because emotion fades. I was hyped up, but like revelation sticks. Okay. What I've realized is I spent years searching for the one thing when literally God has been handing me assignments all along. I just kept dismissing them because they didn't look like what I thought purpose was supposed to look like. So I had to do this episode and tell you today because I know I'm not the only one doing this. Like everything in our life is an opportunity to steward potential. I know this is the worst question. I used to dread this question. I would dread this question. What do you actually do? And I know, babe, I know you've been asked this before. Like, what do you actually do? What is your job? I freeze. I used to freeze. Okay. Because how do I explain that I'm a stay-at-home mom, but I also run a few podcasts, I write books, I coach people, and I just started recording Bible study videos with my kids for social media. Like for a split second, asking me that now, I can still feel that familiar feeling creep in. Like, am I doing too much? Should I pick one thing? Because people will say that. Your mentor's going to say that. When you're signing up for that network marketing business because you know that you've listened to Brandon and you need the side gig, I will not. I will never tell you that's the only thing you should be doing. But your mentor probably will. Like your other uplines, I know they've said it. I know my entire life, everybody says pick one thing and be really great at that. Here's the truth. I know what my purpose is, and I can catch myself in this moment. I catch myself and I get back to the truth. I'm not doing six different things. I am doing one thing in six different ways. And that one thing is what God put in my hands. And I had to come on here. I had to talk about this today because I know some of you guys are feeling the same way. Like you're looking at your life, the roles, the responsibilities, the things that you're building, and you're wondering if you're scattered or if you're supposed to pick a lane. And you have to hear this today. God put this on my heart. And I literally just got my first hate message on my TikTok with my kids. Okay. Some lady was like, let me see what she said. It must be nice to have time to chase your dreams. Some of us are just trying to survive being a stay-at-home mom. Like initially, I'm a human. I get a little defensive, but also at the same time, I get it because I've been there. Like I have felt like being home with my kids meant putting my purpose on hold. Like I had to choose between being a mom and being a woman with a calling or being able to do something in my own name. But this is what I've learned. Purpose isn't something you put on pause while you raise your kids. Your kids are a part of your purpose. So I recorded the Bible study video with my kids. Like we're launching this whole thing and we're making it scripture fun and it's accessible and it's for real families. And what is the truth here? I'm not finding my purpose. I'm just stewarding what God already gave me. They're watching me. They're watching me and they're like, Mommy, can we do TikToks with you? They've been asking me for a while, can we do TikToks with you? And today my little is like, can I do a podcast with you? Because she sees me doing it with a co-host, you know? They want to be a part of what I'm doing. God gave me this. So I'm saying this out loud because too many of us, especially moms, like we think we have to wait till our kids are older, or maybe you're thinking it's in, you can't do this until you have more time, until we have it all figured out, or before we can, before we can step into our purpose. But like, what if it's already here? What if it's already in the everyday moments, like the messy living room, the kids interrupting your work? What if you're not waiting to walk in your purpose? What if you're already in it? And I do a lot of busy work on things I love. Like I'm on the social media, I'm creating, I do the writing, the curating. Why wouldn't I make them a part of this? And the best part of my day, because it's been a busy day, I woke up late and I've been behind. And so it's been busy. And the minute they came in here and they're like, well, aren't we going to do our video? Like, girl, I dropped everything. And it was the greatest part of my day. They cracked me up. And I almost didn't even hit record, right? Because I'm so busy. My to-do list, I have to work on the real stuff, right? The podcast, the coaching, the book. Sitting on the floor with my kids making Bible study content, that might not even get views. And, we tell ourselves, oh, it's too small. It doesn't count. No one's going to notice if you miss that. I've done that my whole life. No one's going to notice if you miss a day with your kids, even though we just started. It's day 2. You need to be doing something bigger if you're going to walk in your purpose. And then, yeah, Mom, we're going to make the video. That's when it hits me. It hits me so hard. Like, this is the work. This is the work. And it's not even work, it's what we do. We just purpose that to bring other people into it. What is the best way to make a change in the world? Tell people about Jesus, okay? Make a relationship with God real. This is the work. Stop waiting for permission to steward what God has already given you. I've been so conditioned to think that purpose has to be big and it has to be public and it has to be impressive that I've been overlooking assignments that he has literally put right in front of me. So we hit record and it was messy. My cat literally hijacked the video. Okay. But it was real and it's exactly what we needed it to be. Like, it's just so funny because we are just us, and it's not Instagram perfection worthy. It is just real life. And that's exactly what it needed to be. But that's why I'm doing this podcast today. And we're going to talk about, if you saw my Facebook Live, you got my first revelation. Okay. That video does disappear in 30 days. So I would say go check it right now. That was my first revelation in this process, in this undoing, and this becoming part of my, I guess we're in the detox evolution. Okay. The emotional, the physical, the hormonal, the cellular level detox that I'm going through is just kind of opening up the world to me. So I have 9, okay, 9 of these that really saved my calling. And I just want to teach you what I had to learn the hard way. So number two for me is your purpose doesn't require an audience to be valid. Okay. I had to unlearn. Like, for the longest time, I measured the value of what I was doing by how many people saw it. And you're doing that. Like, you're trying to see if like people are liking or people are commenting. And there's a lot of times my page won't show what my analytics does. So it'll look like, oh my God, no one's looking at her stuff. And you go to my analytics and I've got a million fucking views. So people are watching. I promise you that. Not everybody has the balls to interact, and not everybody's going to step out for fear of whatever it's going to cost them. But I measured value by what I was doing with how many people saw it. If I posted something and it didn't get likes, I would question if it mattered. If I had a conversation that changed someone's life, but no one knew about it, of course, I wondered if it counted. And if I'm doing work at home with my kids, like in these hidden places, I felt like, oh, I'm wasting my gifts. Like, I bought the lie that impact equates to visibility. And the world told me if it's not posted, it didn't happen. If it's not growing your platform, you're wasting your time. If people don't see it, if people don't validate it, if people don't celebrate it, does it even matter? Listen, bitch, that pressure is suffocating. It's suffocating. And I know you feel this. I was obsessed with building a platform that I started dismissing the assignments that are right in front of me because it didn't come with an audience. Or there's that fear of my brand shifted. I had this incredible journey that I veered off track and found my way back to Christ, and then I can't not talk about it now. And I've had to deal with a lot of fallback and a lot of, people freaking out of like, oh, she's too preachy for listen bitch. Just that fear of judgment, it's suffocating. It's suffocating. It's suffocating. We get so obsessed with the wrong shit. Quiet moments of teaching my kids about God. I mean, you know, why would I say that's not platform worthy? The behind the scenes work of showing up for my family invisible. We think that small impact meant no purpose, but this is what God has shown me. Like some of the most purposeful moments in your life will happen in rooms with no cameras, no applause, and no posts. That's it. Jesus spent 3 years with 12 guys. 12 guys. Not 12,000, not 12 million. I'm saying 12 men. Most of his ministry happened in living rooms, on dusty roads, or around dinner tables. We know about the woman at the well. That's one conversation and no audience. Zacchaeus in the tree, private moment that changed a life. Mary sitting at his feet while everyone else is busy, obscure, quiet, but Jesus said she chose the better thing. Faithfulness in obscurity is just as purposeful as visibility on a stage. In fact, sometimes it's more so because it's pure. There's no applause to perform for. There's no likes to chase. There's no external validation to feed your ego. It's just you and God and the assignment he gave you. And that's where the real transformation happens. My purpose is valid whether anyone sees it or not, because God sees it and that's enough. I never in a million years, I would never want our Bible study videos to reach, an insane status that would take us away from the core purpose of what we're doing. I always want to rein this in and let this be because it is our thing. Me reading to the girls or reading out loud and them listening, even they don't understand half of what they're hearing, but it's planting a seed. It's planting a seed of discipline and diligence and another level of stewardship in just our everyday life. This is my second year of going through the Bible, of reading it every day, and it's made such an impact on my life and in the becoming of Brandon Lynette stepping into her purpose. I don't have to chase that. It's just what we do. It's what we do. And I always want to stay true to that message. We're just normal people. And I'm just showing you stewardship of my purpose. Chasing purpose is going to burn you out. Walking in it won't. That will be our third revelation today. There's a massive difference between chasing purpose and walking in purpose. And of course, I learned this the hard way. I've learned everything the hard way. I want to save you guys some of that trauma, really, because when I was chasing purpose, I was exhausted all the time, hustling, striving, performing, proving like I'm running on fumes, trying to force doors open, trying to make things happen in my own strength. And I thought that's what it was supposed to feel like. That hustle culture will suck you in like nobody's business. And I thought if I'm tired, it means I'm working hard. If I'm overwhelmed, it just means I'm serious about this because that's what hustle culture teaches you. What I didn't realize is the exhaustion was a sign that I was just performing instead of really just in the flow of natural human experience. And think about a river. When water flows in its natural course, it's like effortless, powerful, yes, but no one's forcing it. It doesn't have to convince the rocks to move. It just moves around them. It doesn't fight gravity. It's working with it. But when you're trying to force water uphill, like that's going to take machinery, energy, constant effort, and eventually something's going to break. That's me. I was trying to force the water uphill, trying to make my purpose happen through sheer willpower instead of surrendering to the flow of where God is already leading me. When you're in true alignment, there's effort, but not striving, like work, but you don't feel like you're in the battle. And don't get me wrong, walking in purpose is not fucking easy. It does require discipline. It requires obedience. It requires sacrifice, but I just don't feel like I'm swimming upstream anymore. When I started walking in my purpose, instead of chasing it, like I suddenly have energy for the work. I have clarity about what is mine to do and what isn't. Like I have peace even in the hard seasons, and that's that's what I realized. Peace is the indicator, not pace. But the world is going to tell you that if you're not exhausted, you're not doing enough. That's what they say. God literally says, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. If you are burned out, if you are overwhelmed and you are running on empty, you're either doing the wrong thing or you're doing the right thing in the wrong way. Purpose is not supposed to destroy you, it's supposed to sustain you. Revelation number 4 is purpose isn't linear, it's layered. I thought I had to figure out, like, this is the pressure I just would bury myself under. Thought I had to figure out the one thing. One thing. You choose to do one thing for the rest of your life. And if you pick wrong, you'll miss your calling entirely. So there's Brandon, demand avoidance, paralyzed. My neurospicy brain could not handle it. I'm afraid to commit, afraid to start, because what if I choose the wrong thing? Babe, purpose isn't linear, it is layered. You don't pick one lane and drive it for 40 years. Purpose evolves and it expands, and sometimes it even pauses. You guys, can I tell you about my homie Paul? Okay. My homie Paul, Apostle Paul. He was a tent maker. Then he was a Pharisee. And then he literally slaughtered Christians, like murdered them. Then he had a Damascus Road encounter and became the greatest evangelist in history. Like, I think we would be best friends right now. Same man, different seasons, different expressions of calling. Do you see how that works? Moses, prince, shepherd, deliverer, leader, intercessor. Every season is built on the last, but none of them look the same. What you're called to at 25 is going to look different at 35, and that is by design. I'm a stay-at-home mom. That's my primary assignment, right? But I'm also building a podcast. I'm writing a book. I'm coaching. I'm working on what I feel like it is to minister a relationship with Christ, sharing that publicly. 5 years from now, that might look different. My kids are going to be older. God might open a door I can't even see yet, or he might ask me, to lay something down and pick up something else. And that's okay because I'm not locked into one version of purpose for the rest of my life. In all things, I hope I bring glory to him, but I'm stewarding the assignment in front of me today. And when the season shifts, then we steward towards the next one. You don't have to have your whole life mapped out. You just have to be faithful to the layer that you're in right now. Number 5, your pain is often the birthplace of your purpose. This one, I want to shake some of you bitches, okay? We're all going to try to do this. We're going to try to hide the parts of our story that we're ashamed of, the trauma, the mistakes, seasons that we barely survived. We want to bury them. We want to forget it. We want to move on. And this is what I've always thought. Once I heal from this, then I can step into my purpose. First of all, we'll start here. God said, no, your healing is your purpose. Your pain is going to be the thing that will equip you to help other people. So the very things I want to hide become the very things that give me the authority to speak. My struggles, my emotional healing, my trauma, this is why I can coach people through shit. My seasons of questioning God, you guys, literally 2 or 3 years ago, I was doing tarot cards and Reiki healing. That was not God's calling. That was me trying to make up my own rules. So I go through that. I've not hid any of that. Am I totally embarrassed? Am I mortified? Did I want to just burn down all my social medias and think, gosh, how could I have done that? That's how I hold space for doubt without judging you. My messy, imperfect journey, everything. I've bared it all. This is why women feel safe being real with me. That's why I'm so good at what I do. But what broke me also broke me open. You understand? Have you guys heard of that? I don't know what it's called, and I'm not going to pause this to look it up because I'm tired of staring at my phone. But there is this Japanese art where broken pottery, they take it and they repair it with gold. Like the cracks aren't hidden, they start to highlight it. because ideally they believe the brokenness is part of the beauty. That is what God is doing with our pain. He's not going to erase it. He redeems it and then he uses it. Your mess becomes your message, but it cannot do that until you stop running from it. I ran from my story forever. I thought I had to be healed enough or whole enough before I could help anyone. But the truth is, listen, people don't need you to be perfect. They need you to be proof that healing is possible. So stop hiding your scars and stop waiting until you're ready. Your pain has prepared you. So steward this. Revelation number 6 is you don't have to have it all figured out to start. I just got really scared I didn't hit record on this. I would have just not had a great time tonight. I would have not had a great time, you guys. You don't have to have it all figured out to start. And I got stuck here because I had some coach I spent thousands and thousands of dollars on just to tell me I had to get clarity. So I wait for it. I wait for the clarity, for the full vision, for every question to be answered and every detail to be mapped out before I take the first step. You know what happened? Nothing. Because I was waiting for something God never promised to give me up front. You guys, why did I spend so much money on a coach that couldn't teach me that clarity comes through obedience, not before? He doesn't give you the full blueprint. It's in the Bible. He gives you the next step. And when you take that step in faith, he'll reveal the next one. Abraham, God said, go to the land I will show you. Not here's a map, here's a timeline, here's a detailed itinerary. No, he said, just go. I'll show you when you get there. You know, Peter stepping out of the boat, he didn't have a plan. He didn't know how it worked. All he heard Jesus say was come, and he moved. The door opens when you knock, not when you stand there planning how you're going to get through it. Oh, the time we waste on overthinking, overplanning, waiting for the perfect moment to start. Obedience in the dark develops the faith you need in the light. You don't need to see the whole staircase. You just have to take the first step. So stop waiting, stop planning, stop analyzing, just start. Start the podcast with episode 1. You'll figure out episode 10 when you get there. Listen, bitch, I'm almost to episode 500. I've never run out of content topics. Not once. Do I get tired of thinking about them? Absolutely. I've asked for your help. I absolutely need that. Please spam me with your podcast topics, questions. How can I help you? Okay. Use my expertise without having to pay for my one-on-one coaching because that isn't cheap, honey. It's not cheap just because my time is valuable. You'll figure out episode 10 when you get there. Start the business with the first offer. You can refine it as you go. Start your ministry with your first Bible study. If you're like, oh my gosh, Brandon Lynette, she cusses. She does all these things. She has tattoos. She's not a perfect Christian, but she's doing Bible study for a badass. The name itself is an abomination. She's an abomination. I hear it all the time. Okay. Good. If you think my Bible study for a badass is offensive, start your own. Like, do it your way. Do it the way you envision it to be, because there are people that need you that will never listen to me because of the tattoos, because of the abomination, because I say badass, because I cuss. You guys, my prayers literally start. How many times I'm like, dear God, I fucked up. I messed up. That's not enough. I've made a disaster of things sometimes. That is how I talk to him. And as far as my relationship with him, he's not going to ask you about me when you get to heaven. He's just not. He's not going to say, well, what about Brandon? Start with your own first Bible study. God is going to grow whatever you do as long as you're faithful. He will grow it. Movement creates momentum. Momentum reveals the path. Revelation number 7. Okay. Are you guys having flashbacks of my book? Because this is kind of where it's my muse for this episode. Once Upon a Time, Bitches. It is in my show notes if you guys haven't gotten that. And I would say listen to it on Audible. That was the funnest thing to do ever. But just to hear it in my voice, I feel like it's powerful. Anyway, Revelation number 7. Comparison is going to kill your calling. Okay. And maxims. I have maxims in my book. This is why, if you guys If you read my books, you guys understand where I just made that comparison. But anyway, my squirrel brain is going to continue. The trap I fell into. Like, I have spent all this time watching what everyone else is doing, more time watching them than focusing on what I was supposed to be doing. She got a book deal. He has 1 million followers. They're speaking on stages. Their ministry is exploding. That podcast is completely viral. They're so popular. Me, I'm just here doing the small thing, the hidden thing, the thing that does not look impressive on Instagram. None of my stuff makes me look impressive on Instagram, but I'm watching everyone else's highlight reel. So yeah, it's going to make me question my own timeline. But this is the reminder that God gave me that I'm going to share with you. Their assignment is not your assignment. I don't care if it looks shinier. I don't care if it looks prettier. It makes more sense. Comparison is a thief. It takes your joy, it takes your confidence, and it takes your focus. And it's going to make you think you're behind when really you're exactly where you're supposed to be. I mean, I've heard this everywhere. God did not call you to run someone else's race. He called you to run your race. And there's freedom in that, because staying in your lane, it's not limiting, it's liberating. When you stop comparing, you stop competing. When you stop competing, that's when you collaborate. You get to collaborate with God and yourself and the people that He's going to handpick for you. And He will. I'm watching doors open every single day of the people that God has chosen, because I've decided to stop playing into the bullshit games. Yesterday's podcast. I'm done with the people that are draining me. I am going to stay vigilant and continue to collaborate in my stewardship with God and whoever He places in front of me. Thank you, God, for the discernment to know what you're sending. Babe, you're not behind. You're not late. You're not missing out. You're on your timeline, and it's perfect. Revelation number 8, rest is not the opposite of purpose. It's part of it. This hustle culture. I've been anti-hustle culture since it started, and I've hated every time it comes up in my memories where I'm like, where's my all-nighters? Where's my hustlers? Where's my boss babes? How embarrassing. But do I delete it? No, just let it be there so people can see my growth. I don't know. Maybe someone's going to want to come and hate on me and bring up Brandon from 10 years ago, who, gosh, Brandon 10 years ago, you guys. I love the shit out of her, but wow. She's come a long way. I thought rest was lazy. Like, if you're not grinding 24/7, you're not serious about your calling. So then you wear this exhaustion like a badge of honor. Like, look how hard I'm working. Look how much I'm sacrificing. Team no sleep. This is what dedication looks like. Join us. It's so much fun. And I'm burnt the fuck out. And burnout does not glorify God. I learned that the hard way. Exhaustion is not a badge of honor. My day started late because through this detox, my sleep has been jacked up. It has been jacked up. Last night, I finally got to sleep at 2, and I slept through. I didn't even set alarms. I'm like, God, I just want to sleep as long as I need. So my day ran late because I absolutely didn't. I wasn't like, man, I have to do the hustle culture. I don't have a timeline. We're on our own schedule, right? It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Even God rested on the 7th day, not because He was tired, but because He was modeling something for us. Rest is sacred, it's necessary, and it's part of the design. How many times did Jesus go off on His own to pray and to rest and to be alone with God? If the Son of God needs rest, what makes you think you don't? And sustainable purpose is going to require that Sabbath, the wisdom to say no. And yeah, I mean, I had to learn saying no to good things so I could say yes to the best thing. It's not selfish, it's stewardship. Rest isn't the opposite of purpose. It's what fuels it, ideally. So when you rest, you refill. When you refill, you have something to pour out. When you pour out from overflow, you don't run dry. So please, okay, stop glorifying the grind. Stop wearing exhaustion as proof of your commitment. Nobody cares. In fact, nobody wants to be a part of that. And God wants your obedience, not your burnout. My final revelation, you guys, okay? Your identity isn't your impact, because I'm going to tell you, it's easy to lose yourself when you tie your worth to your work. I did this, and I struggled for a very long time. I tied my identity to my impact. If the podcast was growing, I felt valuable. If the coaching was booked out, I felt worthy. If people were responding to my content, I felt seen. But when things slowed down and engagement dropped and no one's booking calls, like I spiral. Because when the work became my worth, I lost myself. But this is what God had to drill into me. And it hasn't been easy for him. And I'm sure he just wants to shake me like I want to shake you. Like who you are in God is separate from what you do for God. You are not your ministry. You're not your platform. You're not your productivity. Like you are a beloved child of the King, period. Period. Even if you never did another thing, I am still enough for God. My value does not fluctuate based on what I put out. My identity doesn't shift based on my impact. God doesn't love me more when I'm doing great things. Like he loved me before I've done anything. And he will love you the same even if you stop. Do you understand? You are not what you do. You are who you are in him. And when you anchor your identity there, everything else becomes an overflow, not a source. And that is it. That is it. I'm anchored in, locked in. I have a sporadic number 10 just because I think this is important as well. Purpose is about presence, not performing. Okay. I've talked a lot about performance on my podcast lately. So we'll make this the final shift because I spent years thinking that purpose was about doing, accomplishing, achieving, building, performing. God showed me literally purpose is about presence. And you can be on purpose by simply being present to your family, to your community, or to the stranger in front of you. Like kingdoms aren't just built in viral moments of fame. It's the quiet moments of faithfulness that are really going to build. So showing up for your kids when you're tired, honey, that's purpose. Having the conversation that God put on your heart, that is purpose. Being fully present in the mundane moments, that is purpose. Showing up fully where you are is the work. You don't have to perform. You don't have to prove. You just have to be present, be intentional, be wholehearted. When you do that, that's when you realize like, you've been walking in your purpose all along. Purpose is not a destination you arrive at after years of hustling. It's a posture. You walk in this daily by saying yes to what God has already placed in your path. No chasing. We are cultivating it. We're stewarding it. We're trusting it. This is how everything changes. If this episode resonated with you, do me a huge favor, share it. Send it to the friend who's burned out from chasing. Send it to the mom who thinks that she's just a stay-at-home mom with her kids. Send it to the entrepreneur that questions if they're on the right path. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the podcast. Leave a review. Tell me which revelation hit you the hardest. Here's the deal. When you share this, like you're not just sharing an episode, you are giving someone permission to stop chasing and to start stewarding. And that might be the most purposeful thing that you can do today. So, all right, bitches, I love you. Go be who God created you to be, and I will see you next time.